No more drinking. I'm sorry I even put it in your head.
I don't know. I don't even know what your problem is. I've never felt better.
We already know all the crazy stuff Family Guy gets away with on the air, but could you just imagine what kind of stuff gets left on the cutting room floor? Well, thanks to DVD and Blu-ray releases, we have access to hours worth of deleted scenes, and we have some of the best here for you. See what character had an unlucky Christmas, how the Flintstones went to divorce court, and exactly what Batman keeps in his utility belt as we recap some of the funniest scenes that should have been included in the full-length episodes.
I said I'm dying! Hey! I'm dying up here!
There's nothing like a good Meg joke. The Griffins rag on her so much, it's pretty much inevitable that many of the jokes and gags would be tossed aside. Well, one of our favorites comes from the season 13 episode, The 2,000-Year-Old Virgin. As the Griffins celebrate Christmas, Meg grabs her gift, shakes it, and is surprised there's actually something inside. While Peter is quick to burst her bubble when he reveals the box is filled with the upstairs bathroom garbage. Yeesh, it would have been easier to just toss in something from the kitchen pantry. Like usual, Meg seems to take things in stride, and the joke itself was layered with some pretty good laughs. The whole thing probably just ended up getting cut for time, once again dismissing Meg by giving her minimal amounts to do in an episode. Family Guy has never been shy of lampooning celebrities, including Michael Jackson. Jackson has been animated on Family Guy numerous times over the years, including the episode The Courtship of Stewie's Father, where the Griffin family goes on his former Disney World ride, Captain EO. Then there's Tales of the Third Grade Nothing, where Jackson's provocative stage moves are taken to the extreme. Because of Jackson's notorious history with children, Stewie has been featured in a number of scenes with Jackson, including the episode Stewie Loves Lois. In a quick cutaway gag, Stewie testifies against Jackson.
Well, yes, but the worst part was he never called back.
Well, there was another cutaway featuring the two that parodied one of Jackson's infamous tabloid moments. In the scene, Jackson hangs Stewie over the balcony to show fans below, and Stewie had just about enough of being dangerously so high from the ground. The gag was funny, but we can see why the scene was cut, considering how much the whole moment was played out in various comedy outlets. Plus, South Park has taken on Michael Jackson parodies so many times, Family Guy probably didn't want to overdo it or look like copycats. When Peter becomes the mascot for the Pawtucket Peter beer, he gets all kinds of perks. In the episode, we see his face adorned on the bottle in a similar style to Samuel Adams, but a deleted scene took the moments even further. Remember all those Dos Equis most interesting man in the world commercials? Well, Family Guy took their own spin on it, calling Peter the least interesting man in the world. The commercial that follows is a series of funny gags, including his ability to nod along to Journey, his refusal to eat salad once a year, and the moments when he backs out on bets when he loses because they never shook on it. And who hasn't been there with the betting one? The gags were so funny because of how relatable they were, and the show could have really done a whole series on these commercials. Each part now could be cut down and turned into their own animated GIF. And we know some people say GIF, we're going with GIF. The longer segment was obviously cut out for time. While some of their pop culture gags instantly become outdated, the commercial parody here had a timeless quality to it. In the world of animation, gags, stories, and various visuals need to all fit within a very tight time code. When a story comes up short, animated shows often rely on padding to fill up the time. Think about the Simpsons Itchy and Scratchy shorts, King of the Hill's alley scenes, or Stewie's long mommy scene. It seems like every episode of Family Guy uses the premise, but sometimes they are not intended. In the season 9 episode Baby You Knock Me Out, one of the padded scenes was cut from the episode, but provided a funny laugh nonetheless. In the episode, the Griffin family celebrates Peter's birthday and watches him blow out candles, only to have the candles reignite each time. Peter tries, and it takes him a while before he finally realizes they are trick candles. Stewie joins in on the fun too. Who knows? Maybe the gag will get redone and used in a future Family Guy episode. The clip could really be stuck in anywhere, or with anyone celebrating a birthday on the show. Family Guy has had a whole lot of memorable songs over the years. Just saying the title of some of the jingles can instantly get the song stuck in your head. Iraq Lobster, Credit Card Debt, Prom Night, Dumpster Baby. We could have a whole playlist of those songs and sing along all day. With all the work it takes to create a jingle, we're surprised they actually cut a whole song from an episode. The song, LowLevel Man. The tune was from Brian's solo triumph from the season 4 episode, Fast Times at Buddy Cianci Junior High. In the story, Brian becomes a substitute teacher at Chris's school. His journey follows the path of so many high school movies like Dangerous Minds. The whole journey was supposed to culminate with LowLevel Man. In the song, Brian sings about the low-level jobs that are essential to run the world. He brings inspiration to careers like janitors and DMV workers. The tongue-in-cheek song was a great play on the inspirational songs used in high school drama films and would have fit in nicely with the episode. Instead, we got a bunch of scenes of the new teacher, Mrs. Lockhart, living her life with a bear who would rather watch TV than go out to dinner. It's always funny to see Family Guy take on various sports, and even funnier when Peter confidently tries to play them. In Patriot games, a bathroom tackle session turns into a starting position on the New England Patriots. The Griffins return to Foxborough Stadium for the episode 3 Acts of God, and we get a funny encounter where Stewie tries to learn about the rules of football while Peter enjoys the aggressive Boston fans in the stands. The animators took on football again in the episode Hefty Shades of Grey. In a classic cutaway gag, the Griffin family watches TV, and this time around it's the new NFL Senior League. We don't actually get to the league, but we hear the announcers talk about the struggles of the players on the field. The game moves so slow. The score is only 2-2. Like many other cutaway gags, this one was clearly snipped for time and could have been inserted into almost any episode. It's always a little jarring to see real pictures of humans on an animated show. Family Guy has resorted to the visual gag quite a few times, including a cameo from actress Alyssa Milano. While in the episode Our Idiot Brian, we got another real-life visual gag, but this time, it's in the form of nameless pictures rather than an actual celebrity. When Meg brings the mail in, Stewie quickly snags it up so he can check out the weird-looking real estate agents. After going through a few of the funny pictures, we reach the kicker, a guy with the exact hairstyle as Stewie. And boy, does cartoon hair look weird in person. Imagine Bart Simpson's hair in real life. How bizarre. And Stewie isn't too far off with single strands of hair placed evenly across his skull. The moment was fun to process and look at, but like many of the Family Guy jokes, it did nothing to propel the story forward, although it does get us excited for a potential live-action Family Guy adaptation. We've already covered a lot of cutaway gags which got deleted for episodes for time, but how about we cover a funny deleted scene that was considered the anti-cutaway gag? In a great piece of meta-humor, the scene was cut from Married with Cancer and features Brian and Stewie at the kitchen table. Stewie goes on to berate Brian about how disgusting he is, saying he's like a guy who goes number 2 and then doesn't wash his hands after. We get a moment of silence and then Brian looks around, asking Stewie if he's going to a cutaway shot. There's even a quick second where Brian looks directly at the camera. The final part of the scene ends with a twist. Not only is Stewie not referring to a random cutaway gag, but he's actually talking to Brian. At least the dog apologizes. The meta-humor has only expanded on Family Guy over the years, including a whole episode where the characters did their own commentary and recognized they were on an animated show. So by this season 17 episode, you can expect the meta-humor to get kicked up a notch, but this one may have been too much as it got the axe. Both The Simpsons and Family Guy went to their roots for the crossover event known as the Simpsons Guy. It was awesome to see so much intertwined between the two shows, and it turns out that there was even more. The episode features a lot of deleted moments. One of the more memorable scenes includes the one where Captain McAllister meets Family Guy's resident pirate known as Seamus Levine. But the real deleted scenes we want to see are ones with Peter and Homer. The leads of both shows interacted so well in the episode. Well, long after their epic fight takes place, Homer and Peter meet up at the Springfield police station. Peter has nowhere to stay and is looking to Homer for some ideas. Homer shares his fun tactic of getting drunk and spending a night in the pen, but Peter doesn't think Stewie could handle the alcohol, like he has so many times before, and without Marge's permission, Homer invites Peter to his house. And this is the moment when the episode really picks up. ESPN isn't just a legendary sports network, they are known for making some of the most popular sports-related catchphrases of all time. These phrases have been used far beyond the world of ESPN and even far beyond sports. Just think of how many of these you've heard before. He could go all the way, he shoots, he scores, booyah! Come on, man! Well, there's one person who got a little sick of it, Stewie Griffin. In the episode Trans Fat, we watch as Stewie catches up with SportsCenter, which is a pretty funny concept in the first place because of how little interest he has in sports. Anyway, Stewie complains about those ESPN catchphrases, and then we get to enjoy Family Guy's take on them. The collection of clips includes a basketball game with the exclamation, "Hot chicken!" There's a soccer goal followed up with unlimited toppings, and a home run with the commentary, "9/11 was an inside job." The funny part about the ESPN commentary is that we could actually picture hot chicken and ultimate toppings being used on the show. The third one, not so much. After years of getting away with so much as the family dog, Lois has finally had enough and sends Brian to obedience school in the season 13 episode, Once Bitten. When Brian comes back, he's fully trained and will do anything Lois and Peter ask him. The results turn out to give Peter and Lois a whole lot of free time, but the episode cut out what Peter actually did with all of his free time. Turns out he was doing charity work. During a quick cut, we see Peter deliver a cargo plane from his personal foundation to a third world country. Only in typical Peter fashion, he is delivering anything but water and food. As we watch box after box unload off the plane, Peter lists all of the useless items packed inside, and each one gets funnier than the last. There's the hot dog toaster, the made-for-TV zigzag brownie pan, 500,000 dog stares, and a Crash Bandicoot video game. Yeah, if it was real life, it'd be pretty cruel, but the twisted sense of humor of Family Guy made this a pretty funny one to watch. Wow, it seems like a majority of these scenes are cutaway gags, and that's why we have another one for you. The season 7 episode, The Man with Two Brians, focuses on the story of the Griffins getting a second family dog, but Peter has his own deleted scene with a celebrity guest to boot. When Peter talks about someone being a bigger downer than a long-distance dedication from Kasem, we get a quick cut to Peter listening to the soothing voice of Casey on the radio. The actual radio DJ proceeds to read a long letter about a woman who lost the love of her life as he moved away and eventually passed away. The reference itself may be a little outdated for younger viewers, but anyone who grew up listening to Kasem's show knows how spot on this segment was. And Kasem's ability to do the guest role was nothing new, along with an iconic radio career. Kasem also voiced Shaggy on Scooby-Doo for its initial run. It must have been hard to cut a guest voice from the show, but the segment went on a little too long. At least we can all see it now. Family Guy has never held back on taking shots against other cartoons. South Park, Futurama, and The Simpsons have all been made fodder on the show, but Family Guy doesn't just keep their jabs to current shows. Just take the deleted scene featuring the beloved Flintstones in divorce court. As Barney and Wilma sit on opposite sides of the courtroom, a judge interviews the family's garbage disposal, who is an actual dinosaur that eats the family's garbage. The dinosaur accuses Fred of having relations with him, which turns out to be the catalyst for the divorce. Eesh, not the wholesome prehistorical family we all remember. While this Flintstones parody didn't make it to air, there have been numerous others over the years. A funny example, the episode where Peter finds an old Flintstone vitamin in his pocket and never ate it because it was printed in the form of Barney. Seth MacFarlane is actually a huge fan of the original series and loves to include the show parodies in Family Guy as often as he can. MacFarlane even planned a reboot in 2012, but the series was shelved. Like many cartoons, the plots are often driven by main characters trying out different careers. Cartoon characters like Homer Simpson have their wiki pages dedicated just to the careers they have, and the same could be said for Peter Griffin. So while he was never officially a mailman on Family Guy, a deleted scene did give him the honor. It's up to you whether you decide if the mailman gig counts as canon or not. Either way, Peter's mailman job didn't last too long. He decided to sort the mail between standard mail and adult magazines. Once the pile was sorted, he snagged up those adult magazines and headed home. Forget the paycheck, he's got a pile of entertainment to last him. Well, at least for the night. Peter got out of there quick and probably left a lot of angry customers in his wake. The fast and funny scene was a great little setup with a hilarious payoff and really fits the Peter character. Leave it to Family Guy to turn a single toothpick into a whole storyline for Peter. When his toothpick makes him feel like a tough guy, he compares the situation to the toughest guy around, Batman. Cue the cutaway gag. And this one revolving around Batman's utility belt. Peter wonders exactly what Batman keeps in the belt, and we actually get to find out. As a woman waits to get saved from an oncoming train, Batman finds hockey trading cards, a used post-it note, some type of mint, and a few stamps. Before he can get the right tool to help, the train comes and the woman gets swept away. What'd you expect? It's Family Guy. The deleted scene was part of the episode Hot Pocket Dial. Funnily enough, Adam West had guest voiced as himself several times as he played the mayor of Quahog, but he did not play the role of Batman in the episode. The episode originally aired in 2015, and West passed away in 2017, so he probably could have been available to record. Either way, the scene was cut, although we always love a good Batman reference. Even with just some quick deleted scenes, Family Guy provides a ton of laughs. Which one was your favorite? We personally loved the fake cutaway gag between Brian and Stewie. It was a fun meta moment. Do you wish some of these scenes were included in the final episodes? Well, let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to ScreenRant for more great content.